Good evening, everybody. How's it going? This is Hunter here. I'm here with Colin. We're just cranking through some reviews for you guys. You're welcome. Colin, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, you're welcome.
Seriously, gosh, free entertainment. Gosh, just speaking of the free entertainment, go on our SoundCloud and find us there at Real Pineapple 775. But
feel free to donate money because you feel guilty. Everything you're hearing is so amazing.
Yeah, all the free labor, all the free podcasts you're getting to get through your day. Yeah, you're welcome. You filthy animals. To quote Radio Shack. By the way, just real quick, I know it won't happen because John. So if you guys haven't heard, Jon Stewart's leaving the Daily Show, which I think is a fucking travesty. But I get it. He's been doing it for what they say, I think 15 years, 17 years, something like that. So I mean, well deserved. He should be able to do whatever the hell he wants. But man, I'm sad that John Oliver isn't still there because, man, last week tonight, he's so good at that show, and he would be perfect to take over Jon Stewart's spot. But they'll find somebody, I'm sure. But I'm sad Jon Stewart's gonna be gone.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't actually watched him in a long time. Sometimes I'll check in, but yeah, it's weird. He was always the old standby.
I think that's the thing. I know you said you haven't watched him in a while. I think that's part of it because it is is that classic old standby. You're like, oh, this person will always be there. I can just kind of tune in on occasion, and then when they go, oh, hey, I'm done doing this, you're like, oh, well, shit. So, I mean, you get comfortable with people being, doing a show for so long. You're just like, oh, it's fine, watch whenever. So, it's sad. Patton Oswalt should be his replacement, by the way. But yeah, I'm proud of the dude for doing it as long as he has. The show's been great, and that of course spanned the Colbert Report, which is no longer on, unfortunately. But
yeah, so how many amazing people have come from starting out on the Daily Show?
Yeah, Rob Corddry, Carell,
Steve Carell,
Colbert. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty incredible. How many
people got their start?
Yeah, so I mean, hey, so nothing but respect for Jon Stewart. Actually, saw Rosewater. We'll have to do a review of that here soon because, that's actually a pretty good movie. But anyways, what we are here to talk about is a pretty fantastic movie.
Whoa, spoiler alert.
Well, sorry. I didn't say what my grade was going to be, but we're talking about John Wick, and we were talking about this off mic. I really like Keanu Reeves. I think he gets a bit of a bad rep as far as being an actor, but the last couple movies he's done have not been stellar, to put it kindly. So
yeah, he wasn't in Interstellar.
Damn it! But I mean, 47 Ronin, I think was the last thing he was in before this. So I mean, it's been a little while for him since he's been in something good. But
yeah, you liked him in this, right?
Yeah, I actually enjoyed him quite a bit. So I mean, and what's great is the plot is just very. It's a very point A to point B plot. So he played. They said did they say what branch of the mob he was? He just said he was an ex-mobster, right? I think
he was a hitman.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay,
he was a hired hitman for the mob to take out whoever they wanted.
Okay, I didn't hear the hitman part, but basically John Wick is, as Colin said, just a former hitman, worked for a mob, got out of life, got married. His wife. They didn't say what she died from. They just said, I remember...
She got sick.
Yeah, they said...
It was cancer or something.
Yeah, because I remember they said, in her note, it said that, the disease had loomed over their marriage for a while. So, presumably, cancer.
Right.
So, basically, he, one day, he gets knocked on his door, and his wife will give him this last gift, which is this adorable dog, and saying, hey, you still need something to love, and hopefully you can move on. So, he's at a gas station, and these Russian mob assholes led by this young punk, this dickhead. He's like, oh, hey, it's a nice car. How much? And he's just like...
Who's like Russian.
Yeah, I mean, just pretty much like... I mean, he doesn't say, get the fuck away from me, but he might as well have said, get the fuck away from me, because he's just like, it's not for sale. Just, peace out. So, they break in his house, kill his dog, which is just like the most dickhead thing that these guys could have done. And the way they did it, too, you're just like... Dude, seriously?
Like, it would have been dick if the dog hadn't just gotten, was a gift from his, dead wife.
Yeah. Well,
so it's, 10 times worse.
Yeah, I mean, it's terrible regardless, but, the context in which the dog was given, you're just like,
So basically just, fantastic, just, nothing to lose premise for an action movie about to start.
But see, we talk about...
all that happens and then just pure cinema bliss.
And you know what
afterwards.
You know what I really appreciate about this too is that they set it up quick. It's like there's not a bunch of dragging out. It's like they tell how they tell the marriage in flashbacks, but yet in a way that you're like,
it didn't need any. I didn't think it needed anything else to set up the story.
But you see their marriage flashes of them getting married and stuff and being together, and you're like, it seems like they had a really good marriage because they're all lovey-dovey and sweet. And you're like, oh,
yeah, you get the idea. You don't need to get pounded over the head with it.
Exactly.
That's not the type of movie you're trying to watch here. And actually, I thought about that too because the movie runs about an hour and 35, a little over an hour and a half.
About that, yeah.
With credits, it's an hour 40 total. But yeah, by the time it starts ending, it's it was an hour and 32. So yeah, they're like, let's just. They could have easily made this movie over 2 hours or more with a ton of extra stuff at the beginning. But what's the point?
They didn't need to.
No, you're in this to watch a badass action movie.
And I will say before he starts on his trail for revenge, it's like we said, killing the dog was dick enough, but they leave the body of the dog right next to him, and you're just like, okay, it's they could have been somewhat humane and at least taken the dog with them, but they're like, oh no, we're just gonna leave the dog right by your unconscious body. So
yeah,
at this point you're just like, oh cool, he should kill every single one of you.
Right. And it sets up the movie so well that you just lose all compassion for any of these people that he's about to kill. You don't think about their families or anything. You're like, no, everyone deserves to die. I just saw a poor puppy dog get killed.
Yeah.
You kill a puppy dog, there should be 75 to 100 people that John Wick now goes out and kills in the mob.
What's really cool about this too is that he has this nickname and they establish how he got this nickname. And when you hear the backstory, you're just like, oh man, you're like, it is open season on every single one of you who had anything to do with this poor dog getting killed and his car. They steal his car too, which is a badass fucking car too.
Yeah, 1969 Mustang.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's a revenge film. It reminded me so much of God damn it, of Mel Gibson's Payback. It's so on that same ex guy used to work for the mob, and it's just a straightforward.
Yeah, it's not like a brand new revolutionary premise.
Oh no,
but it's well executed.
The thing I will say about this though is that a lot of those movies, and it made me think about the Jason Statham movies, how he does that same crap over and over again, and yet putting that emotional attachment with his wife and the dog, and just. The fact that Keanu Reeves, like I was saying earlier, he really doesn't get props. When he has a good script, and the script isn't there's not insanely memorable dialogue in this. Yet at the same time, the dialogue that is good is delivered well. And it's so rapid fire with everything. It never lingers on anything. It's oh, okay, we got that done. Cool, we can move on to this. And it moves quick, so you never have to sit back and go well, I didn't like the way it's oh, it's already moved on to something else. So, and Keanu,
most of the time, Keanu Reeves isn't even talking.
Yeah, he doesn't talk.
There's several phone calls that he gets, and the other guy, he'll just answer the phone call, and he literally doesn't even say hello or anything. someone starts talking to him on the phone, he listens to him, and then he just hangs up. He did that like probably 3-4 times in the movie.
Yeah.
And it's great. I'm he just comes off as so much more badass because of it.
Yeah, and like, and I will say, like, I was telling Colin this while we were watching it. I was like, one thing I love so much are those gritty underground like type movies, like those film noir type films that were so big in the 40s and 50s, like stuff like that, where it's like it's all black and white and everyone is just like you can't really cheer for anybody because everyone's just a piece of crap. And like, admittedly, like, he got out of the mob game, but they do a pretty good job establishing that he killed a lot of people when he was a hitman. So it's not like he's a quote unquote good person.
No, he's a total anti-hero.
Yeah, but compared to everyone else, like, he's less evil. But the body count in this movie, he is killing everybody in this movie. He does not discriminate.
Yeah, for like an hour and a half movie, there's an impressive body count.
Yeah. It reminded me of those like arcade games like the Dynasty Warriors or whatever, where you just hack and slash through a bunch of people and you're just like, there's no, like, the plot is very like, oh hey, like maybe your family's killed or whatever, but hey, I can just hack through a bunch of dudes and awesome. And Keanu Reeves was awesome in this. Like, the little bit of acting he does have to do, like when he has, there's a point where he just breaks down, and I was just sitting there, I was like, damn, dude. I was like, I feel really, like, he gets a lot of emotion through without saying a lot, which I find even more impressive. And the action scenes in this were so awesome.
That's the best part of the movie by far, in my opinion, is like, there's some really well choreographed action scenes in this, like, and it's ruthless. I mean, it's like, it's coming at you full force. I mean, it's like headshot. I mean, and it's like he's dancing around like 12 dudes invading his house, and he's picking them all off one by one, shooting them in the head, and just being so much more badass than everyone else, like, trying to get to him. It was really fun. Really, really fun action movie to watch a lot of these scenes.
One thing before we get to our ratings that I hate that a lot of rated R movies have been doing recently like this, in that this movie completely got right, and this is a complaint I've had about every Expendables movie for the most part, is that they've been using that glossy CG blood, and it never looks real, and it always looks so fake, and just like, I can't get invested in it because the blood's clearly fake. This looks like they use like the standard fake blood, but like actual fake blood, not like they edited it in post. So like every headshot, like you see, blood splatter, and you're just like, oh yeah, that looks real. Like that, or as real, as it can look. And you're just like, oh, this is practical effects, awesome. Like, it looks so much cleaner. And you're right, every fight scene in this, you're just like, there's a fight scene in this hotel that I was just like, I am so amazed at how well choreographed this was. I don't think I've done this since we actually have started recording, but this was such a good movie that it actually makes me, and I don't know if I'll ever do this again, but I originally gave The Equalizer a fan-fucking-tastic. I'm actually going to knock that down to an A-, because as much as I love The Equalizer, this is how you do one of those movies. The body count was higher. You never really got you got his backstory a little bit in Equalizer, but they did a better job fleshing it out here. And I actually just like this better. So I'm going to actually knock The Equalizer down to an A- instead of the fan-fucking-tastic. This is a fan-fucking-tastic.
Nice.
This is how you do it right here. And they've already said they're doing a John Wick 2. And all I can say is bring it on. I will be there opening night, seeing that shit in my black suit, ready. Just, Keanu Reeves is back. Love this shit. Fan-fucking-tastic. All right, go ahead. What you got?
That was a good comparison to Equalizer, because that's probably the last really great action movie I saw too. But that one was, like, a lot of things were like behind the scenes when he's being a badass. Like, there's a whole thing where someone comes and robs the Home Depot, or not Home Depot.
Yeah,
he
come
works
on,
in.
Colin. It's like home.
And then like and then he basically like goes and kills the dude, gets the lady's ring back, and none of it's shown on camera. This is like everything's right in your face. I mean, it's some really, really awesome action. This is a movie where you can, if you own it, you can throw it in randomly and just skip to a couple scenes and watch them over and over again. That's how good they are. So yeah, I'm with you. This is as high a rating as I can go, especially for this genre. So
nice
for action movies, this is fan-fucking-tastic.
Bravo, sir.
Yeah, I loved it.
It's
nice to see this. This feels like when Liam Neeson did the first Taken.
Yeah, that's a great comparison.
That's what it feels like. It feels like, you know what, Keanu maybe he's going to string a few of these together now.
Hopefully.
You know, this feels like when Liam Neeson did Taken, I think.
Top marks on that comparison, sir. So go ahead and like us, and thank you so much for listening, and we will talk to you guys later. You guys have a good night.
Goodbye.